So using a strap or a band around the ribs can be a really great way of facilitating the three-dimensional or 360-degree breath. It gives your nervous system a little bit of proprioceptive feedback, and it gives you something to really focus on in terms of filling into the band. So you'll need either a resistance band or a strap. Resistance bands are quite good because they have a bit more give to them. But if you've only got a strap, that's okay. Wrap it around the bottom of the ribs, kind of roughly around where your brass strap might rest. And then just cross it lightly in front, turn the palms to face up, and relax your shoulders down away from the ears. Make sure that the spine is long and that you feel comfortable. So if you want to do this sitting in a chair, feel free to sit up in a chair. And then either soften your gaze down towards the floor or close the eyes completely. And take these first few breaths just to notice where you feel the breath first. So notice what your natural tendency is. And that might be up in the upper chest, maybe underneath the collarbones is where you feel it. Maybe you feel it mostly just in the nose, or maybe you feel the belly. And just notice what you notice. And then also notice the feeling of the strap wrapped around the ribs. Notice if you can feel the rib cage pressing into the band at all. And then invite your awareness into the back body to where the strap is resting on your back. And see if you can invite the breath also into the back body. So feeling the back ribs expand into the strap and the side ribs expand to the sides. Your belly just naturally rising and falling with each breath, so try not to hold it in. And it may take a few rounds of breath to really feel that back body moving. So just stick with it. Keep your awareness in the back body. Notice if the shoulders are starting to move up and down, can you keep them soft and relaxed? And notice maybe a subtle sense of flexion and extension as you breathe. The breath in, a little bit of flexion through the upper back. And the breath out, a sense of extension. So particularly thoracic vertebrae 2 to 9, they get most of their movement in the sagittal plane from how we breathe. So the flexion and extension with each breath. And movement is how we nourish joints. So in particular, nourishing the facet joints, the spinal discs, the attachment points between the ribs and the vertebrae. And then see if you can direct the breath just into the left side ribs. As you direct the breath into the left side ribs, you're essentially isometrically holding down the right side. Notice how it feels to expand just into one side. And as you expand just into the left side, also notice any movement, any subtle movement in and around the spine. The diaphragm being a skeletal muscle, and so the bones that it is moving is the ribs, and those ribs attach into the spine. So as we move the ribs, you might notice maybe a subtle movement of the spine, perhaps even a subtle rotation. And then can you close down the left-hand side and just breathe into the right? And again, just notice anything. Maybe it's more challenging or maybe it's easier. Maybe you get some subtle clicks or pops as you start to defixate some of these joints. And can you notice that subtle movement of the spine again? And then go back to breathing into both sides, the back body, the side body. And just letting the belly rise and fall. You may start to notice that as you breathe into the back body, how it starts to almost lift the back ribs up and draw the front ribs down slightly, so it positions your rib cage, your thorax, better over the pelvis. So now the two diaphragms, the respiratory diaphragm, the pelvic diaphragm, start to align. And the last part of this is, can we do it without the feedback of the strap? So keep your eyes closed, but just let the strap fall down. Release the hands to the lap and see if you can continue breathing into the back and the side body. And just notice how your breath feels now in comparison to when you first began, when you first noticed your breath. Noticing the texture and the quality of it, perhaps the cadence of it. And just when you're ready, you can open the eyes and just come back into your space.